So we want to focus today on research communications. How much are we able to communicate what we have done, right? As researchers, as engineers, as subsurface and surface engineers and scientists. How much are you able to put it together in a way that is short and straight to the point, in a way that summarizes your full efforts and arouses the interest of a reviewer or a researcher such that they will want to listen to you at a conference or at a program, right? So that's why we're here. So by way of agenda, we'll start by introducing the concept of abstracts and then maybe talk a little more on types of abstracts and then the elements of an abstract, and then we'll progress to um, looking at a few best practices for writing abstracts. We'll take a few examples of some strong and weak abstracts, and then I'll also walk you through some examples of scoring criteria that could be used or has been used in a couple conferences, and then we'll conclude. So hopefully there's something to learn. And this is not just, again, for students or young professionals. This applies to everybody, even the industry folks, even advanced or experienced industry folks. We all need to, continue to renew our understanding of how this works. I'm also learning on a daily basis, so just to put it out there. So by show of hands, I just want to check how many of you in this chat room has written an abstract in the past or recent times. Let me just check how many people have written an abstract for a conference, for a seminar, a big program, small program. Okay, so I see Simon. Okay, more hands. Okay, Boluwatife, yeah. Folabi. So at least it's good to know that there are people who have at least written an abstract. I wanted to check if we have experts in the room. So if we do, I'll be careful what I say. But now that it looks like over 50% have not written an abstract, maybe it's time for me to just freestyle and do say what I want to say. Well, I'm just kidding. But this is just shows that there's a lot to benefit from this meeting, and I want to say for those of you who are here, it's a great opportunity to be here, especially if you haven't written an abstract. Now, going down to the power of communication. No, at the end of the day, in all that we do, it is what you say to the other person on the other end, the person who opposite you. It is what comes out of either your mouth or your pen, what you write down, that determines how you are perceived or how your effort is sort of, appreciated, how much of appreciation is given to your effort because the person is not in your mind, the person didn't do the work with you, right? So you need to find a succinct way to communicate what you have done, right? Or to, pass across the message of what you have done in a way that the next person, the reviewer, the listener, truly understands or gets a full picture of what you did and is interested, in following up with your efforts, or at least gets a good picture of your efforts and properly places your work in terms of ranking. Okay, so that's where communication is very key. First question is, what is a research abstract? Now, I think this is pretty straightforward. Everybody knows it, right? A summary of your work. So now this is a research abstract. It's a short summary of a project. Typically it's usually under 300 words, between 150 to 300 words. I have seen very short abstracts. I have seen very long abstracts also. And the idea is such that even in this short summary, you're able to highlight the purpose of your work, the methods or methodology or workflow, the results, and the key messages or conclusions of your full work. So the idea is you've done a lot of effort, you've done a lot of work, a paper, thesis, or research, but we want you to put it in a way that someone who reads it will get the most important ingredients of that work, purpose, methods, results, conclusion, and will be interested in, reading the full work itself or seeing the full effort itself. And which is why this is important.